And we are live. Happy Friday. It's the weekend. Time to go to our main shot here. Hello, how are you today? I am going to try my very best to actually make this a show. We are not so much testing today because I've gotten things to work, guys. So, little recap if you caught me yesterday. We were talking about pineapples. That was fun. And Kelly already asked, are you eating pineapples? Well, two things about this. First of all, how cool is this, right? This is what I got stuck on yesterday I was trying to do, and I'll tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But why is Kelly asking if I'm eating pineapples? Because in our show yesterday, we found out after you do your IUI procedure, you're supposed to start eating pineapple slices. Also IVF, and also if you are after ovulation. So yes, tomorrow is our IUI procedure. So I will be starting to eat those pineapples tomorrow. Even though, as you know, I don't really like pineapples, but for the good of a potential baby, I will do it. Yes. Awesome. So now this, guys, how cool. Look at this. Mom and Dad are here too. How fun. Oh, the name's not showing up. I'll have to fix that. Yeah, I wonder if that's because of a member issue or not. Anyway, still really cool. So what happened with this yesterday is I just happened to be adding the connections between YouTube and my program during a outage on YouTube with this whole feature. And I guess if you do, me and some other people that I found online kind of got stuck in this little like freeze, and Vmix just had to output a new update in order to fix the problem. So it wasn't anything I did wrong. It was actually something that YouTube did wrong. But yay, we fixed it. So I am so excited to have that. And guys, I actually had this ready for yesterday and I never got to use it. But if I make a mistake, let me make sure this works. If I make a mistake, check this out.
Oh, boogers.
Did you guys hear the oh boogers? Let me know if you saw that in the chat or heard that in the chat. Not heard it in the chat, but let me know in the chat if you heard that. Okay, today's episode is going to be about the guys. It's all about the guys. But I guess I kind of just did my update. So, jumping back to my personal story, which is kind of how I've been opening up the show this week. So last night, yesterday we did get a call that we are doing our IUI transfer on Saturday. And that's going to be in the morning. So Bert will be going in at 8 a.m. and then I go in at 9 a.m., which is super exciting. But we had to do a trigger shot at home yesterday, and that was overdrill. And it was scary for me because I've passed out numerous times in my life because of shots and needles. But we watched a video that one of the nurses had given us a link to this video to watch. And we watched it a couple times. Bert wanted to watch it more than once, which I was thankful for because he was the one administering the shot. And guess what, guys? I laid down, we followed the steps, and it was nothing. Like, no big deal at all. I barely felt it. It was way easier than I thought it would be. It was like all built up in my head and nothing to worry about. So, successful administration of my trigger shot, and today we're just trying to stay healthy, stay positive, keep that good energy going in my body, and then hopefully tomorrow everything goes well, and then it's the 2-week wait, so I won't have much of an update for you on a daily basis on my journey, but hopefully in 2 weeks, hopefully we'll be sharing some good news, and if it's bad news, then we'll all cry together. All right. Look at this. I love this. This is like my favorite part of live streaming. I can bring the comments on and show you guys what I'm responding to. But yay! We are all excited for this. So awesome. Okay, let's jump into today's topic. So, I have prepared, guys, for you. I have prepared indeed. So I need to bring this up real quick, bring this back, and then bring up this. Okay, so let's talk first about the basics. What do we know? Usually the men go and get a sperm test at some point, especially if you're having infertility issues or problems conceiving. And I don't think that this normally happens in the first year of people trying to conceive. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're out there and, you know, whether you're watching the replay or you're live for us, right, live with me right now. But if you know, if you thought it was normal to test the sperm right when you first started, you know, you're like, yeah, we're going to start making baby. Let's go get tested. Let me know if that was you. But otherwise, I do not think that is the norm. But when you do get into a year of trying, usually, at least this was our case, I went to the gynecologist and I told her, went to my normal gynecologist. Just my regular doctor that I see on an annual, you know, for my annual checkup and everything like that. And we all know, gynecologist, female doctor, right? We know that one. But, you know, I said, should, you know, Bert get tested? Is that part of your process? My doctor's like, that's not my area, you know. Bert should go to his own primary care physician and talk to them about it. So Bert did this. Bert did this when, you know, after I went to the gynecologist, about a year into it. And his doctor said, okay, how old are you? How long have you been trying? And, you don't need a test. Like, what the heck? Like, why not? Why not? Why not at least just do the test? It's covered by insurance. It's like not even a big deal. Yeah, so that was really weird. And I was like, I feel like we should be pushing back on this a little bit. So Bert ordered one to do at home. So yeah, guys out there, if you want to test, you can order a kit at home, send it in, and you get the results online. And do it in the privacy of your own home. That's fine. Just know, you know, these are not, you know, it's the accuracy of them may not be as I don't know. To me, it didn't seem like the accuracy was as good as when we did it through, you know, the doctor and the lab and everything. And I'm sure that the ones that you do, you know, through the mail order one is going to a lab somewhere. But I don't personally believe that it was as good of a result. So when we met with the fertility clinic doctor last October 2020, that is when Bert had a doctor ordered, you know, sperm analysis, semen analysis. So that was a long time to, you know, I had gone through multiple tests. I've told you guys before that I had done tests like all the way back a full year ago now, is when they did initial blood work on me and the scan of my my uterus and my tubes, you know, that happened super early on. But guys, men are 50% of this. Like, they have to be healthy too. Everything has to be working for them and you in order for this to work. So we're gonna freaking talk about this. So your conventional semen analysis is gonna be 3 things that you get from it. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Cut. There we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, so number 1. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Don't do that yet. Getting ahead here. All right, guys. Number 1, sperm count, right? They're looking for a normal sperm count. Low sperm count is, you know, it's obviously going to decrease the chances. So that's an obvious one. Next is your sperm morphology. Now, morphology means the shape of the sperm. Okay, so an abnormal one, you can see the picture on the right there, kind of, you know, not so round and healthy looking. So that's the morphology, and when they do this semen analysis, they're looking at this under a, you know, very powerful microscope in order to see the shape of the sperms. And then the last thing is how good do they swim? So that's called the motility, the movement. So if they are, you know, swimming all over the place, and I saw a video of this, it's kind of fun if you wanted to do a Google search for, you know, I guess it would be sperm under a microscope. You can, it's very clear. You've got some that just, you know, they know where they're going. And the other ones are like, where are we? What's going on? Yeah, I'm going to put some sperm voices into my production, I think. So those are the 3 like conventional things that they're testing for. But there's so much more to this, guys. Recently, Rod Gilbert came out with a special on BBC, and I actually am sad because we don't have access to it with all of our subscriptions. Like, we have 1.5 million like YouTube and Prime and whatever, but this is one that we don't have access to. And Rod Gilbert is a normal stand-up comedian, but what he did, he actually was going through infertility issues of his own, and he made a special about it, which is fun to, you know, combine the education with, you know, comedy around it. So if you do, there's actually I'll share this on my page, on my Facebook page actually. I'll just link it up after this so you can watch it. It's just like a 3-minute bit about his special, and if we can get to the full thing, I'll definitely share that too. But he made a really good point. It's, you know, he was asking members in the audience, like, have you heard of an andrologist? Have you heard an andrologist? Everyone's like, no, I don't, no. And then he said, okay, have you heard of orcs? And everyone's like, yeah, we've heard of orcs. Okay, orcs are mythological creatures, and andrologists are actual people that exist and no one has ever heard of them. Obviously, the presentation's way better when Rod Gilbert does it. I am just using it to get a point across, which is that there are actually male fertility doctors out there, and they are called andrologists. How'd you like that transition? Not bad, right? Gosh darn it, Lynn. Next one here. Here we go. Andrologists are urologists, so with that have extra training. And they may work alone, or they may work with a reproductive endocrinologist. We'll edit that later. Okay. So andrologist specializes in male reproductive issues. And what they do is they actually come up with a treatment plan. So this is not just, you know, it's not the fertility doctor going, hey, here's your sperm results, you know, try to eat better and whatever. This is actually someone that's going to look at it, work with you on your own personal health, and like dive into it and make a plan. So it's really important to know the difference. I thought I had one more here. Oh, I guess I don't. But think of like andrologists as the equivalent of gynecologists. Not saying that you need to go every year and get a pap smear, guys. I don't think that exists, but if you are trying to conceive, just know that this is something that is out there for you. And it's important to know because it's not just the women. So 50% of the issues in fertility are coming from the male side. But good news is that we can improve this. Where's my point number 3 here? Okay, yeah, we talked about that. So point number 4. I know, I think I've held this up on every single one of my shows, quite possibly, because I freaking love this book. And what I've done is I've bookmarked chapter 14, which is entitled The Other Half of the Equation, Sperm Quality. And Rebecca Fett, as you know, bases, if you've been listening to me the past few days, is has dove into the science behind fertility and infertility. And what she did for the men is go through and talk about the different things that could go wrong. And I just want to read this part. So male infertility contributes to nearly 50% of all cases in which a couple has difficulty conceiving. The misconception that female infertility is more common may be due to the fact that treatment in a fertility clinic typically entails many procedures, medications, and injections for women, but not for men. And that's 100%, I think, what's contributing to this. I'm the one going to all these appointments, so you think, oh, it's something that we're fixing in the woman. But really, it's not. At the same time that I'm going to the doctor, you know, Bert should also be maintaining a healthy you know, tank of sperm. So it's just a popular misconception. You know, we don't have to fix just the females. It's everybody. It's both parts in this. So do not exclude that when you start on your fertility journey. Take care of the male part right away. Don't wait and, you know, have it be like, oh, it's something wrong with the woman, you know, and then be like, maybe we should look at the guy too. No, it should be same time. So, how can we improve this sperm quality? Diet. Okay. This is kind of obvious, right? And we're not just talking about, you know, go on a diet and lose some weight. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what we're putting in our body. And antioxidants are key here, guys. Antioxidants help produce sperm with correct number of chromosomes. So, helps with the health of the sperm themselves, and so that way you have a better chance of that baby carrying to term too. So it's not just getting pregnant, but making sure that you're producing sperm that are healthy enough to, you know, to make it all the way to having a baby. That's what I just said. Great the next thing is that folate, which is found in fruit, vegetables, and fortified cereals, is also key. A study found that you have higher sperm quality when you have that folate in your diet. Okay, these are just a couple of things, guys. If this is something you're seriously interested in, great starting point is this book for both people, is reading through it and educating yourself. There's an entire chapter just for the men that'll go into this in more detail. So I don't want you to just be like, okay, check folate and antioxidants. Okay, I'm set. There's way more to this. Okay, another one. Alcohol is a big problem because it creates oxidative stress. So cut back on the alcohol. I know it's tough, and you know when you're pregnant, that's fine. Once you get pregnant and maybe even wait, you know, the first trimester just in case. Just keep everything healthy because I don't know. Just stay ready. Just stay ready until you know that your part in the job is done. Okay. So occasional drinks are fine, but you know if you're drinking moderately, that's still an issue. That's gonna decrease your chances of having a healthy baby and getting pregnant. Okay. Reduce your exposure to toxins. And this is kind of a great segue. Well, I talked to somebody about potentially coming on and talking about products that are cleaner in your home, better for you in the home without having those toxins that are found in a lot of stuff that you buy in the store. So if you're cleaning with like those common cleaning products, you know, there's actually toxins in there. Even though you think you're making your house cleaner, you're actually possibly adding perfumes and other things that are not good for you. So you kind of have to try and clean with really clean products. So that's something that I can't wait to cover in an upcoming episode. And that's kind of for everybody. Just being aware of what's in your cleaning products and the products you put on your skin and in your body. I think that we put a lot of trust in, you know, the manufacturers and then the people who test them and everything. I think that we need to take a little bit more responsibility of looking into those products ourselves. Great resource for that is Think Dirty. It's an app that you can download. Now just beware on Think Dirty, like it'll give products a rating on how clean they are. Look into it. Don't just take the rating for what it is, because even on there, if you go into it, you can click on what it is that's giving it that rating and kind of decide for yourself, oh, okay, is that something that's actually dirty for me, or is it dirty for you know, someone else that's not me? Which if you look into it, you'll understand what I'm saying. So different points in your life, you know, you have different toxins that you need to be worried about. Okay. Another thing to be on the lookout for is BPA. Now, a lot of this has kind of been a thing, at least for 5 years, you know, where they brought to our attention that the BPA in plastics is a carcinogen, something that could be causing cancer. And a lot of people switch to drinking out of Nalgene bottles. I think a lot of people have wised up to, you know, you're not really supposed to microwave things in plastic. But I do it all the time still. Not all the time, but I still do it, and it's horrible. And it's really hard to break away from plastics. Really, really hard. But if there's one thing that you when you're starting out on this journey that you can do as a couple, try and get rid of the plastics in your kitchen and replace them with glassware. That's going to help out, you know, when you're storing your leftovers. It's going to help when you're reheating things and, you know, serving dishes and everything. And those are softer plastics is usually what you'll find the BPA's in. And another thing to be aware of is even if you use something that says BPA free, that means they might have replaced the BPA part with something else that is also toxic and has not yet just been, you know, flagged as something to be careful about. So if you want to play it totally safe, switch to glass as much as possible. Okay. Now, I'm probably going to say this word wrong. It's spelled PHTHALATES, and I think it's called phthalates. And I'm not 100% sure, but that's how I'm going to say it, and I'm going to own it on the show. You want to get rid of these too. These are things that you're going to find in products, and it might not even say that particular word on the label. But a lot of the things that you'll find this is with things with fragrances. So with our laundry detergent, we switch to something that doesn't have a fragrance in it. It just has the cleaning power in it, and that's fine. Like I don't need to smell like a Summer Stream or Lilac Meadow or whatever those different uh, words are or names are for the different fragrances. Okay. You also don't need those in your lotions and your shampoos and everything that you're putting on your body. Your skin is absorbing what you're putting on it, right? When you put on lotion, you don't feel that lotion there like an hour later, right? It's because your body's absorbed it. So what you want to try and do is find those products that don't have fragrances. And this was really, really hard for me because I love the perfume that I was wearing before this whole thing. And it just makes me feel good because when I warm up, I smell it a little bit and just, oh, I love it. But yeah, I haven't been able to wear my perfume for quite a while because I'm taking this seriously and trying to cut out those kinds of toxins. So how are you guys doing? You hanging with me? We've got 5 people watching. If you haven't said hi yet, drop me a little note, say hi. If you're watching this later on, drop a little comment. And guys, if you haven't yet, please like this video. Those likes mean a lot to me, and it's very easy for you to do. You know, costs you nothing but a little click, okay? And then move along here to one last thing to consider for the guys. And this isn't just guys, but when you are starting your fertility treatment, is one of the things they might offer you is genetic testing. And if your insurance covers this, I would say, why not? Go for it. What they might do is have one person do it, and then if they find that you're a carrier for any genetic diseases, then they'll test the other partner to find out if they are the carrier for the same things. Oh, look at this. Sorry, a little interruption here. Have to put this one up. Oh, it'll come up in a second. There it is. Don't mind interrupting me. I love it. Hi, Nolan. Auntie Lynn's here. I love my little nephew. He waved and he's listening. So it makes me smile so much. Okay. So the genetic testing will test both people if they find it in one person. Now, they also tell you it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get those results back. And if you do one and then you find something and then you have to wait 3 or 4 weeks and you're eager and like, let's just get this going, like me and Bert were, we just got tested at the same time. At least that was the plan. And then that didn't happen. They forgot to test him when he went in for his blood work, but that's okay. So we got it tested, and it did turn out that Bert and I are both carriers. They test for something like 200 different things. We're both carriers for 2 things, but 2 different things. So it's kind of nice knowing that we don't have to be worried about, it's one less thing to worry about. So genetic testing for Bert, I don't think, they asked him, he's like, hey, we haven't submitted this to your insurance yet. You can just pay us $100, or you can wait for your insurance and then pay the copay. So that's kind of good too. It's like, it might only cost you $100 out of pocket to do that. Just wanted to let you guys know it's an option and I recommend it. It's good to do. There are, I think Bert, are you listening? If you're listening, do you remember when you went in for your semen analysis after the fertility clinic, did they also do a blood test on you? Because that's not something that came up when I was kind of doing my research for today's show. But I am curious. I can't remember if they do that, because they might be testing for other things in the blood. Let me know if you are. Okay. Never got another charge for the test either. Yep. Okay. He'll hear that. I'll get that. There's a delay in the comments, so when I ask things, it doesn't come up right away. It's okay. That's just how it works going live. I think it's like a 30-second to 1-minute delay. Yeah, here we go. Got it. All right, so they did take his blood. So that's another thing. I probably should have found that in my research today on what it is they're testing for in the blood work. I don't remember what levels, and it's probably with like the vitamins, the vitamin levels. I'll look into that. I'll report back. We'll make sure that this is a thorough investigation.
Oh, boogers.
Okay. How to improve your sperm quality? I forgot, guys. Supplements. We talked about the diet, but there is actually a how women are, I recommended earlier this week during when I was talking about my supplements, there's a prenatal for guys too. It's not prenatal, it's called something else, but it's a multivitamin that you're supposed to take when you're trying to conceive. All right. So when you are trying, and I don't know what brand Bert uses, but it is labeled specifically for sperm quality. You can also take a daily antioxidant or supplement or multivitamin that is this, for sperm quality specific. Okay, coenzyme Q10, also known CoQ10, and also ubiquinol is the key term to look for when getting yours. Bert and I both take this. This is good for trying. Now, I've tried other brands as well. This is one that I just personally found to be highly recommended. So Bert takes his one in the morning with breakfast and one at lunch with lunch. I take two, and then two is the recommended dose for me. Where can you get this specific information? In this book. It Starts with the Egg by Rebecca Fett. Chapter 14 lets you know exactly a little shopping list and a little plan for sperm quality. Let me see if I'm missing anything. If you're one of the unfortunate couples that had a failed IVF, that's when the guys can take a cue to start taking fish oil, R-alpha lipoic acid, which looks like this. It's about $30 a bottle for these. And then L-carnitine. She lists this out. She'll explain exactly why to take these. And then a few other things, guys, to consider doing. Limit your sugar and red meat intake while eating fish and unrefined whole grains. Reduce alcohol. We talked about that, especially in the lead up to IVF. But as I mentioned, it's just a good thing to do if you're trying to conceive at all. And then reduce your exposure to phthalates, BPA, lead, and chemicals in commercial lubricants. For lubricants, if you're using lubricants, no problem. That's actually great. There's one called Pre-Seed that is actually made for people who are trying to conceive. So it can be a lubricant and also help and not have anything in there that might inhibit your chances. Keep your cell phone out of your pocket when you can, and stay cool where it counts. You guys know what I mean. So avoid the hot showers, guys. Don't take any super hot baths. And Bert has sent over what he's taken. Is by EU Natural. It's called Conception Men. Okay, so that's the equivalent of the multivitamin or the prenatal. It's the equivalent of a prenatal. That's what you should be taking if you're a guy trying to conceive. Guys, what do you think of this show? Get lots of information now when people are like, hey, we're going to try and have a baby. You could be like, hey, let me tell you some knowledge. I had a lot of fun doing this one. I felt like I was a bit more organized and prepared for today's show. Have 5 people joining us today. If you guys haven't said hi yet, please do say that in the comments. Give this episode a like. And good. It's very informative, Kelly says. Awesome. And I assume that Kelly represents the thoughts and feelings of all of the viewers. That's what I'm going with. Well, guys, that is our show for Friday. Unless you have any... Oh, guys, this is awesome. Okay, got to put this up here. So this is Michael Short. He is in my group from the live streaming support group that I'm in, that I've been in since October, learning how to stream. Mike asked what my channel was. He subscribed. I think it was just yesterday, and he just jumped on to say hi. Hi, Mike. Thank you so much. It means so much to me. I love this right now. How cool is this? I got my things to work and automated over here. So this is awesome, and I'm just excited that everything's coming along well. Next week, hopefully, I'll be able to get a guest on. It might just be Bert. I'm not sure yet. I'm still working up to it, but I'm chipping away at it every day. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have an awesome weekend, and baby does too. Bye.